What it is, what is up, what is good, gamers? This is Shonuf71, aka Digga
Purple bling bling, y'all.
and your auditory canals are tuned into episode 235 of the Gaming Vessels podcast. And as usual, I'm not in the digital studio alone. Along with me, I got my partners in crime. First on deck, it's Dez, aka the Bay Area Terror, aka the High Res Lover,
That's me.
aka the Cat Daddy, aka that gamer stepdaddy. How's it going, my friend?
Hey, not bad. Just happy to be here. Getting back into the swing of things. This is our second show of the new year, and I just know that it's going to be a fantastic 2024. And I really hope that your 2024 has been super great so far. And I hope keep this positivity moving into the rest of the year. I'm saying this as a person who is fully on board with with the Xbox. So I'll tell you a little bit.
Bite your tongue.
You say that like someone who's trying to convince themselves, not so
Don't
much as someone trying to espouse the virtues of Game Pass. That's just what I'm picking up. That's
all I can say. All I can say is the I feel like I'm missing out. I feel like part of me feels like I am missing out, and I don't know. Let me just keep it 100. Having played PlayStation and having that be my regular driver for so long, forcing myself to play Xbox has been a challenge. It has been a challenge so far. We're recording this on the 21st, so I have I have 10 more days before it's over, and I can freely go back and play the PlayStation. And I am counting down the days. Like, I don't know what it is. But,
I already got plans. I got plans.
So do I. So it's one of those things where I'm looking at it and I'm like, I feel like if y'all never played a PlayStation and you've backed it, y'all just don't know what you're missing. Or if you do, y'all are straight up, I don't know, because I'm straight up missing it. Like, I am missing playing my PlayStation. Like, I am missing it. And it's the games that I'm missing. It's the access that I'm missing. I'm looking at the titles. I'm looking at the games that I have that are PlayStation 5 actual disc games that I have that I can play, plus the stuff that I have on the storefront. And it's just, I'm missing that interaction. I'm missing that feeling of being part of that community. Just the dashboard. I'm missing the dashboard, folks. It's just, I don't know. So given the opportunity to have played my eyes to the selection, and I just don't. It's weird. Like, I don't know how people can fully divest themselves from choice. And by that I mean solely relying on a service to curate your games. Because there are games that I wanted to play. Perfect example, like another game left, and that was, and this is gonna sound stupid, but it was Turnip Boy, does tax evasion, and I wanted to play that game, but it left right when the new Turnip Boy game came out. Turnip Boy robs the bank, and I'm thinking, why would you take that game off? If the new game is coming to Game Pass. And I'm thinking, okay, they did it because they want you to buy the game, and they figure, well, you've already had all this time to play it. If you haven't played it now, oh well. And I'm just like, I just don't like that. Like, I just don't like that arbitrariness that they have, and it's just, I don't get it. I never liked it on Netflix. I never liked it on any of the streaming services. And the fact that this, for people to make this their main driver for experiencing video games, with an S, I don't get it. I know, and again, I know you can buy the games. I know you can buy whatever you want, but it just, and then the storage capabilities are not there. So technically, if you get one, for the entry level price, that's not really an entry level price, because you can't really, unless you're buying smaller indie titles, any of the bigger games are going to eat up your space. So there's just a lot of stuff that you have to do when putting yourself completely in the Xbox ecosystem. And I don't know how anyone can do it. Now, if that's been your only entryway, and say you got, Xbox S for your from your parents, or you bought it because that's your price point, then that's what you do. That's what you got. That's how you live, But no, I don't. No.
I think you might have benefited more by having a Series X, but even then,
I
it's
agree.
just a point.
But then I wasn't going to buy any games for it, though, and that's the thing. It's like
you can rent games.
I know you
rent
can.
Physical games. Or you could go to your. I'm sure if we got games here at our library, I'm pretty sure that you've got a library that has a bunch of games, and you could have rented games from there and red box some games, or what's that other service that they got? Gamefly.
Well, the problem with the Series S, and I'm going to say, Series X right now, is that the handwriting's on the wall as far as Xbox and physical games. I don't have it in the news, but there's a story that tomorrow Walmart's going to pull all copies of Starfield off the shelf. They're pennying them out and returning them to Microsoft based on a request from Microsoft. So
which is crazy to me. Which is crazy. That means they're doubling down on digital media. And I'm like, can you even imagine? That's literally that's it, folks. That's it.
I consider Xbox as a digital only platform. Granted, I bought some physical discs for Xbox One back compat stuff at GameStop. That was like $5, $7, but yeah, that's pretty much a done deal. Yeah. We have it in news, but Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is all not coming out physically; it's only coming out digitally. So
yeah, but we're gonna talk about that. So we're gonna talk about that. I just wanted to give you a bit of update on this, because it's pretty interesting. Is all I can say. It's like,
for me, I'm just gonna go say my piece right now too, as far as how the endeavor's been for me. It's like, I've been enjoying myself, but at the same time, I do miss certain games I have on PlayStation that I don't have access to on Xbox. It's Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Once February 1st hits, I'm gonna be playing that demo pretty hard, because I'm getting the physical from Best Buy, and they're mailing mine on release date, which happens to be on February 1st. So all the bonuses I'm getting, I'll get the bonuses off the demo on February 1st.
You are ready.
Yeah. So.
Look at you. You are like, I'm done washing my hands. You are ready.
But there's some benefit to what the Xbox is doing with Game Pass, and there's games on there. Obviously, I've got Diablo 4 from the library. I got Sonic Superstars I haven't played yet from the library. And the games I've played so far are good. I think I could see myself going to Xbox from time to time if it's something I want to play on the service, or something I want to play digitally. At some point I am going to subscribe to Ubisoft Plus, and I am going to play Avatar. I'm going to play Skull and Bones. I am going to play Assassin's Creed, the latest one, Mirage. Maybe dabble in The Crew. There's plenty of stuff there that, new Prince of Persia. I was tempted to sign up now, but I got plenty of other stuff that, I'm playing right now on Xbox. I don't need to subscribe to Ubisoft Plus just yet to grab those games. But when I'm ready to play those, instead of me going out to the store and, buying the physical and having the game not be fully on the disc to begin with, I just, for Ubisoft games at least, they've publicly said that they want people to forget about buying physical. They want people to subscribe to their service. So guess what? I'm not buying your games anymore. I'm going to subscribe to your service when I want to play them and unsubscribe when I don't want to play them and just leave it at that. So
there you go.
Yep.
So, but that's a long way of just saying, hey. That's a long way of just saying, hey, I did it. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's kind of fun. Kind of not. We'll get it going. So
I hear a lot of copium in your explanations for trying to find. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like, for me, if something is fun, I don't have to, like I'm passing constipation on the toilet trying to find the fun in describing something. It just rolls out. Oh man, I played this, I did this, whatever. But it's like with you guys, it's like, well,
when you get to the games that I've been playing,
almost like
I've been enjoying myself. I don't. It's not anything. I just need
it's
more.
Me. It's me. I'm not gonna lie. I'll keep it a buck. It's me. It is me. I'm finding it very hard to play anything else but Grim Dawn. Seriously, because I just don't like. There's games on the service that I just don't want to play. And it's like very hard for me because that's what I've chosen. It's like the games that are curated for me, I just don't want to play. So. That's for me. So it's been hard for me. And like the
Y'all
first
sounded like Bruce Springsteen after eating some tacos.
So anyway, that was just a lot to say. That you'll get more of this when we get to my my playlist. We'll see more. But I don't want to cut you off, Joe, if you have something that you want to say.
No, I said my piece. I mean, I'm on this little journey. I'm enjoying my trip, but I want to be able to mix in other platforms in my gaming diet. But I've opened my eyes to the Xbox a little bit more. I've got more use out of the Xbox in the last 3 weeks than I have in since I own the damn console. So it's like, it's just,
me too.
I was just going to add that I need new friends on my friends list because all my friends are prior GH Radio or current GH Radio gaming hosts. And every time I see them online, what are they playing? They're playing YouTube TV, Paramount TV, Max.
See, and that's
Flex server. So
it is a streaming box. It's like a very expensive Fire Stick or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know.
So I need more friends on the Xbox playing actual games and wanting to join parties and so. You just
need to go back to
PlayStation.
You need to go back home, sir. You need to go back home.
Take me home, PlayStation, bro.
Take me home,
Lordy. All right. So
how you been, Kev? How you been?
All right. Well, let me finish the intros here.
How you been?
Okay, our show is a no-go without Trader Joe, aka Jabroni Chief.
Yeah.
But you might also know him as the Food Max of gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm maximizing my dollar by not spending any dollars. So I'm enjoying all these games on the Xbox Game Pass and getting some rental games. I saw some games go up on sale, and I'm like, nah, I'm good, bruh. I'm good. So.
Plus, he's saving for a trip to Japan. So we're gonna be terrorizing the streets of Japan and their the video game places.
I'm gonna have to even when we go, you guys with some money. I'm gonna have to send you guys with some money.
Please do. And if it's not too crazy, I'm gonna put it out there. For our listeners, if it's not too crazy, and you want us to look for something, let us know. We'll do our best. But again, do that sparingly. Don't be crazy. We are on vacation. Okay. Okay, I'm just saying. Don't go crazy.
Yeah.
I want a super gun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
I think we could get a super gun right here in the U.S., dude.
But you never know. Like, they want that Japanese box, So we got, Japanese shipping money, Japanese super gun box money, maybe. Suffice to say that just don't go crazy.
Yeah. I may send you with some maybe some relatively easy to find, but hopefully not bank breaking used Saturn stuff. But
yeah, let us know.
I don't even know if that exists in Japan anymore.
Oh, it does.
It does. Yeah, there's YouTube videos. I'll forward you some videos.
It's crazy. Like
I'm
really excited and wanting to look, and given how much it is proliferated, gaming stores, like there's actually gaming stores that are straight up like, yep, we know what you want, here you go, and they charge you an arm and leg for it. So you got to really kind of go not into the cuts, like into the backwater to find like places, but some of the more places that are hit normally, they like folks know what's going on, and they know
the touristy places.
Yeah,
I'm going to go to Akihabara, and you go all, and like half the people there are tourists. Yeah,
so they know, but we'll definitely be keeping our eyes open for folks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's going to bring us to what is always our first topic on our docket, that being the playlist. All right, so Trader Joe, why don't you kick things off? What you been playing, man?
Okay, yeah. As far as the games on my list, all from Xbox, of course. The main driver's been Grim Dawn Definitive Edition, so I've still been playing that with Dez. Great Diablo-like action RPG, great gameplay if need be. I had to kind of retweak one of my characters based on a guide on there, and basically both of my characters now are like mainly like range gun based characters on there. Still enjoying it. We haven't been playing as much this past week as we had in weeks past, but I'm looking forward to diving back in. Played a little bit of RoboQuest with Dez on here. This is a kind of first-person roguelike first-person shooter with like a kind of a colorful like motif to it.
It's got almost a comic book style too, because when you fire the guns, you see the brap 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 and the daka daka daka, like you see those words come out of the gun. So it's really cool. It's very it's cell shaded, very 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 smooth gameplay, very smooth gameplay. I think that you would like that, Kev. I think that's one of those games that I'm like, okay, like this is damn fun.
Yeah, it's like a very arcadey, like you can imagine you take Doom Eternal or Doom. It's that fast movement with moving the camera and whatnot, but it's definitely more lighthearted, and if need be, with a shooter, of course, you're just shooting like little robots out in the environment. You're picking up random guns. It does have that roguelike element to it, so the levels do get progressively harder. You wind up, dying and then rinsing and repeating. So. There are some like lines you could actually grind on it, and so there's some verticality to the levels too on here. So, and we played like about maybe 45 minutes. So I took a taste. I didn't like make it a main course per se, but it's something that's early access. It's on Game Pass. It's also on Steam on here. It's on PlayStation platforms currently right now. I think most of the Xbox early access stuff are always going to be exclusive as far as access. I think they have a platform exclusive rights if need be. So, but I think it's worthy of a download and worthy of giving it a shot. So
I would agree.
Played some Diablo 4. I got that from the library, and lo and behold, I already linked up previous my Blizzard account to my Xbox account. So literally my PlayStation, the characters I had on Diablo 4 on PlayStation were all sitting there waiting for me on the Xbox. So it was just kind of crazy to think that cross-platform play and cross-save actually works effectively. I didn't have to do anything because I already relinked my my Epic account. My what's the Activision Blizzard?
I can't remember. BattleNet. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. My BattleNet account was linked up to my Xbox handle already, and so. Pretty much I was ready to rip, and the game looked just as good on PlayStation. And once Diablo comes out on Game Pass, because it's going to come out, it's a ABK game on there that there's a possibility I might just play on Xbox. I might just look at my physical disc, say, okay, GameStop, give me $30 for it, get my $30 in credit, and just play it on Xbox, because I'll be able to cross-platform play with anyone I could. Once I get the itch to go back in and dive in, and my characters are able to go back and forth between the platforms. So
there's no reason why not.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like prohibitive on there. I played a little bit. I fired up Exo Primal. There's season 3 of Exo Primal that just came out this past week. I think on game night. I fired it up and I started getting a little tired. I was getting sleepy. I was in the tutorial and Desmond said, "Want to play some Grim Dawn?" I said, "Sure." So that's where I was at with Exo Primal. So.
Well, let's keep it 100. What happened was I loaded it up. I downloaded it and I was going to play it with the man.
Yeah.
This thing made me sign in to so many different things. And because I don't really use Capcom on Xbox, I had to sign on through my Capcom thing, and I didn't know what my Capcom, ID was and all this other stuff. So I had to reset all of my passwords. I do all this extra stuff, and then they wanted me to sign into like Xbox, Microsoft, and I was like, you know what? I think we're gonna have to play some Grid Dawn, sir. And he was like, okay. So I was like, yeah. So yeah,
I'm not pulling teeth. I'll play that on my own time. I'm still wanting to play it. I did buy a physical copy of Exo Primal, but I looked at that, saw it's on Game Pass, saw that it's an online only game. I remember what happened with Babylon's Fall. I have a game disc for Babylon's Fall that's worthless because of the fact that they pulled the servers off. So there's no need for me to own the physical game for Exo Primal. It's not like I'm going to get the itch 20 years from now saying, "Oh, let me play some Exo Primal. I'm old Joe over here."
I'm old Joe.
All that stuff. So I'm not going to be able to play Exo Primal once the servers get shut down. So guess what? I'm just going to play on Xbox Game Pass where I have access to it. And if they decide to pull it, then I'll have to decide if it's worth. Right now it's on sale for $30. So imagine paying $30 for Exo Primal. So
no.
Yeah, I'll be able to.
It's your money.
It's my money. Yes, of course. But right now I elected to trade it in. I got more money back than what I paid for it because I bought it from GameFly because, I am the maximizing my gaming value over here. So
smart man.
I basically just decided, okay, this is a service game. This is on Xbox Games Pass. My desire to own it physically. Why do I have a desire to own it physically? It should be up in the cloud like it belongs on there. So, that's why I said about Exo Primal. So, I also played a little game on Xbox Game Pass called Ghost Lore. That is a God. What country was it from, Des? I totally forgot.
I want to say Indonesia.
I think it might be Singapore too.
Or Singapore, yeah.
Yeah, so Singapore.
I think you're right. No, I think it is Singapore actually.
It's a small indie title that has like kind of Diablo leanings, very old school, isometric, fluid gameplay though. It's something to where I think you actually might like it, Kev, because of the fact that it's very intuitive. The combat really flows in the game, so it's not just like Diablo 3 where it just gets boring and whatnot. Obviously, it's not going to be to where it's like anything like a DMC or anything like that. It's definitely an action RPG in that element, but it's kind of arcadey in its gameplay, and it has like a kind of a Ghost Ninja type vibe to it too. So I kind of like the motif and everything going on with it. So it's on the service. I probably wouldn't have discovered it otherwise. So kudos to Xbox for throwing it on the service at least. Made me aware of it. And that's pretty much all I've been playing besides Pal World. So me and Des dove in. World. And, that game we kind of talked a lot of ish about. Last episode, yeah, we Pokemon with guns. I'm there day one. Yeah, we did try it. So
I'm laughing because it's so like that's literally what it is. And I saw this person, this guy, because if you haven't heard of Pal World and you're a gamer, then I don't know where you've been because that's everywhere. Like it is literally everywhere. And I saw this one video about it. Of course, people are making video because like content is content. And this one creator said it's Pokemon if created in the USA, and it had this picture of like a Pikachu with the gat, and I'm like, oh my god, that is exactly what this game is. It is literally like I think, and it's really weird. I think that like Chinese folks, no disrespect for nothing, but y'all wrong for this. Y'all literally look and said they did a focus group was like, What do Americans like? Well, they like cute stuff and they like guns. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we got Power World. The game is just bananas. It is just it's just so silly. The game is just silly. And it's fun. That's the problem. It's
super
actually
fun. Yeah.
It's actually fun. I can understand if it was like, you know, like shitty, but it's actually not bad. The systems that they put into it are good. And the reason why the systems that they put into it are good is because it's been done to death. Like that's the one critique that I have about it is every other game has done it. It's like 5 or 6 different games smashed into one to create this sort of parfait of tastiness. And that comes with a whole bunch of caveats that we're going to talk about later regarding, AI, regarding, intellectual property, regarding all this extra stuff, and just regarding legality. But if you boil it all away and boil it down to its essence, it's a fun game. It looks okay, it runs okay, and it's a fun game. So
yeah, I mean, and we're playing it on Game Pass. And I think we talked about as far as Steam, it is $26.99,
which is
Steam.
Bananas. You should not be paying this much for this game though in early access. Number one. So for that, I am super happy that I have it on Game Pass.
There are some detriments to the Xbox version though, which we'll talk about in news as well. So
yeah, but so one of my detriments, because we're basically, I mean, Joe and I played the same game, so I'm not going to really rehash Grim Dawn and RoboQuest because that's what up. But PAL World. This was the first time in my life that I really felt like I was playing on a potato when I was playing on my ass. Like, oh my Lord. And I know people are gonna be like, well, let's not optimize. It's not this. I'm like, I don't care. This thing is supposed to play on a tablet, and you tell me y'all can't render like rocks? Like, y'all can't render grass? And then Joe will send me pictures from his ex, and it's all lush and green. And I got damn, like it literally looks like a pillow instead of a rock. Like, it's how smooth it is. I'm like, what am I playing? And it's so sad. Like, this is the first time in my life that I was like, oh no, this is not good.
It's probably worse than Switch, right?
I think it's on par with Switch. I think it's on par with Switch at this point because it's just the textures are just so low and the pop-in is crazy, and I'm thinking, and that's just how it looks. The gameplay again is solid, but the way it looks on an S, whoo-wee, I don't know what they did to it.
Sir, you're playing on a toaster, not a potato.
It really, like, I don't know. Seriously.
Instead of a savory steak, you look like Banquet. It's like some Salisbury steak.
It was something, like, but that gravy looked hella dirty, and the potatoes were cold. It was not nice. Like, I was like, y'all are just
that little dessert was all mushy.
I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. How there could be such differences in gameplay, and not in gameplay, but so much difference in how it looks. And it's not like the S is like a bad console,
It is a bad console. The S is weaker in some respects than the One X. In some respects, in some technical areas, and I think those technical areas are coming to play as we have moved into this current generation of games. The One S is not a current gen level console. No. It just isn't.
Yeah, I think this was the first time that comment you just made rang true when I was playing this game, because I'm like, this shouldn't be pushing the system as much as it is right now. Something's going wrong. So, having said all that, it's a fun game. I've enjoyed my time with it. I do believe that they will be adding more to it. I just really hope that this company does not abandon it like it's done some other things, because it's known to do that. But we're going to talk more about that in the news. So, Joe, do you have any thoughts about this game
Well, I just to let the listeners know, as far as my gameplay experience, I was playing in your instance, so I did not get a chance to like do any of the base building because there's a considerable amount of pals that you collect. You enslave your pals to do your bidding. They're all sitting there like toiling away at rocks, and
they're happy to do it.
Yeah, they're happy to do it as well. So
I can't wait for the mod where they start singing old Negro spirituals as they're slaving away.
Well, the cool thing about it is they can't get cotton because one of them is like a woolly type, Palmon or whatever they're called. So
yeah,
and it's just the things like you can literally come in and butcher them and feed them to each other and just it's just this really crazy thing. So I'm sorry.
It's bananas, yeah. So
it's just crazy. Like,
and we talked about prior to the recording of the show, but yeah, you can catch humans in this game. You could put humans at your base. You could sell the humans too. So there is a pal which happens to be number 69. I forgot the name of the pal, but it's kind of
love something or another.
Yeah, basically its main trait is that it loves the breed and it will breed with other pals and also with humans as well.
Yes, it basically got tired of breeding with pals and then started breeding with humans, and it's this love-born dinosaur-looking thing with like hearts and stuff, and just it's like just all over the place.
Like they took Megan or like Nicki Minaj and put her like in a Pokemon version or something. So
yeah, seriously, I'm telling you, it's wild. It's wild what they did, and then some of the names of the pals are just they literally. It seems like they like took two things that were representative of the PAL and said, that's what we're going to call it. There's like this Firefox thing, and they named it like Fox Spark. And I'm like, come on, like at least try.
Was it like Penzuka? I forgot the name of the penguin with the guns.
Yeah.
But,
and Malami or something. It's just it's just these weird ass names. I'm like, please, just try a little harder.
I recognize there's some elements from Breath of the Wild in here as far as your cooking and other things. It almost feels like some sound effects seem like they're straight ripped from Breath of the Wild. The dungeons kind of
are.
Yeah, probably are.
I'm not gonna lie. Like this is a straight up copy and paste in some instances. I think this is like a copy and paste set through like a paraphrasing machine. I mean, like, here you go. So, but that's what's so sad about it. That's what's so sad about it, though, is because I want it to be good and it's fun, but like, there's so much like ethical stuff that you can get bogged down in instead of just enjoying the game if you really wanted to, because it's crazy. And if you just don't go on X because like folks are just flaming each other like crazy because of this game. And I'm like, and I'm just like, I don't like some of it's right, but I'm like, I can't really be in that conversation because like I'm enjoying it. So it's like, but
can't wait for the Song of the South version where you get old black man singing about Brer Rabbit. Have your Brer Rabbit pal coming down with
I'm sure there's other
jug
games
of molasses with a jug of molasses and tar.
He's not lying.
And some feathers.
I mean, there's other games that do have like creatures out there doing work for you, but it's not as blatant as this game. So.
I think that's the problem.
No, it's not going to be in the base game. It's when the mods start showing.
Oh, I know. No, I'm just saying.
When the mods start showing.
Yeah.
But again, there are other capture games out there, and there are other stuff out there that is. So this is very derivative of all this other stuff.
Probably giving people ideas, so I probably should shut up.
Yeah, you never know. Because I'll be sending
if you're listening,
you're like, you're right. You're right, sir.
I'm sure racists love the Gaming Vessels podcast. So.
You never know. We never know who our listeners are. So thank you for listening. But yeah, we probably will get some weird Briar Rabbit thing because they'll be like, "Hey, it's expression," and you're like, "Okay."
Well, right now I don't know if I'm going to continue to play. I mean, I'm dabbling with it right now. I'm in Desmond's world. I haven't started my own instance. I'm kind of waiting. I'll talk about it more in news, but there's some issues with the Xbox version specifically that's not as updated as the one version on Steam, and so I might just wait until the actual version on Steam is available on Xbox to kind of go from there. So
the non-potato version.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think that's a wrap for what Joe and I have been playing, because we literally have played the same thing. It's been, if anything, Joe and I have gotten much closer during our Xbox time. So
we've been playing mainly almost every day.
And it's been a lot of multiplayer, which is fun. I mean, I have to admit, I'm glad that he showed up, because if I'd be doing this by myself, oh my god, I would have been so bored. Oh, I've been so bored. Anyway. Kev, what have you been playing, sir?
So I've been playing a couple of different things, literally a couple of different things. I saw another video for Steam Deck emulation for running .exe files on Steam Deck, and I tried utilize. It seemed fairly straightforward, so I said, do I want to go back and bash my head against this wall again? And I said, yeah, I'll try it. So it's there's a bunch of apps that are pre-installed on the Steam Deck. Like this particular one is called Lipris or Lipro or Lipris, something that starts with an L.
Libro.
That might be it.
Yeah, I think so.
And you set it up. The setup, I followed the instructions on the video. The setup was fairly straightforward. And it got my .exes to run, but I'm unable to map. I'm unable to properly map buttons so I can actually play the game.
Oh.
Like for like Double Dragon Alternate, it brings up the title screen, it brings up the options menu, but it doesn't let me map buttons at all. I'm using and maybe it's because I might need to plug in an actual keyboard. I might try that at some point. Right now I have a mini keyboard, a Bluetooth mini keyboard with a mouse function, or actually a mouse pressure pad function to the side of it. And I can do just about everything except right click. So maybe that might have something. I might need an actual functioning keyboard attached to it in order to properly do this. I don't know. But it's getting emulation on my Steam Deck has been an exercise in frivolity, because number one, I have a very limited patience when it comes to PC, and basically what Steam Deck is, it is a handheld PC. The Steam part runs great. I mean, it's just a matter of loading your account onto it, and whatever games you have or you bought are the games that are going to be in your library. That part works fine. But to do the things that I really want to do with the Steam Deck, for the primary reason that I got it, it's been bashing my head against a brick wall. So when you guys get yours emulated, I'm gonna just take it to whoever y'all are going to and have it done, because I'm no, ain't nobody got time for that mess over here. So
yeah, I don't blame you. It seems like a lot.
Yeah. So Grand Blue Relink demo, unbelievable. I mean, it is.
Poor Joe.
That game it's gonna be so dope, and I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. As hype as I am for Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Remake Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Relink is setting the bar, bro, for action JRPGs. It is setting a bar. Do I think Final Fantasy will hit it? I think they will, and they probably will surpass it. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because of how good remake was. But Grand Blue Relink is unbelievable. It is one of the it is some of the most fun that I've had in a role playing game outside of Final Fantasy 16. That's still the king of the castle. But man, I have played most of the available cast in the demo. I did the story slice, and I did the multiplayer slice. I didn't play with anybody. I just wanted to concentrate on trying some of the different characters because I don't know if you can do multiplayer in story mode, but the way the demo presented itself, you do multiplayer in quests.
Yeah.
So players select whatever character they want to roll with in a quest, and then they go and they do, and they go ahead and run that. I've played about 3 of the available characters. I can't remember how many that there are. I think there's something like 5 available in the demo to play as. My main for multiplayer is going to be what's her name? Lamia. She's the beast girl with the samurai sword. She's deadly. She's
already
deadly.
Picking mains? Damn.
Oh yeah. I got my main set up. She can put things in critical state by just simply because she lands so many hits. She's not that strong, but she hits things so many times. And she's got 2 different stances that you can swap mid combo from, and you just lay on the damage. And then when you add into, they went on ahead and added a whole bunch of and I can't remember what they call. I can't remember if they call them medallions but basically there are buffs that you can add on to your character build. And I just for funsies, I just put everything critical hit on her, and she was just breaking stuff down like so quick. It just wasn't even funny. So there's going to be a whole lot of depth to your builds. There's going to be a whole lot of depth to how your party is going to be outfitted. There are healers, there are tanks. There are characters that play kind of like a mid-range role in that. I'm still unfamiliar with the character roster in Grand Blue, so I don't have the names down for any of these people. But the graphics phenomenal, the gameplay buttery smooth, man. Just not a hitch, not a glitch, you're getting every bit of them 60 frames per second in this demo. It absolutely unbelievable. So I mean, this is going to be an early contender for game of the year in my book. Like I said, it's setting the bar for Joe's
all like, no.
It's set the bar. Final Fantasy is going to have to do something to outdo it. Like I said, I think in the end it probably will, but I'm giving them some benefit of the doubt here. But Grand Blue is not to be slept on at all.
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to. I keep thinking to myself, it's like, when I'm done with with Xbox, I think I'm gonna have to go and like buy myself like a reward. And I think that reward will be like some PlayStation.
Trade in the Xbox and go buy Grand Blue.
Trade in the Xbox. I'm not gonna trade in my Xbox. I still got Avowed coming, so I wanna play that. So
on your potato, yeah.
Just leave me alone.
So and the only other game I played was Tales of Arise, making my way through that. I still don't have the I think the reason that I'm struggling with Tales of Arise is because I don't have the AI. I don't have a proper AI setup with my with my computer controlled characters. I've just been kind of going with I tried creating a custom combat, what they call a strategy, creating a combat strategy, and it's just as bad as the base stuff that they give you with. So I'm probably going to have to go to the YouTubes and look at what other people are doing with regards to custom strategies for this game, because the bosses that wipe out my party aren't that hard, but because my computer controlled characters are doing things I really wish they wouldn't, it's making things a little bit harder. Like I'll get down to half my health, and I have plenty of health items that I can use, and my healer will go ahead and hit me with a healing spell. And so by the time when we get the monster down to its last bar, particularly with a boss, when we get the boss monster down to its last bar of health, and it's throwing everything in the kitchen sink at us when I really need the mana pooled for the healing spells, there's none available. And then we all get area affected and we all drop dead. So I have to work on figuring that out. And like I said, the bosses are not hard. The game itself is not hard, but I don't have my my AI optimized really all effectively. So I need to do some research into figuring that out. But that has been what I have been up to this past week in gaming. So with that said, we're gonna move on to what is always our next topic on the docket, the main event. So Dez, you got the mic, bro.
Hey everybody. So yes, our first main event of the new year. I love it, and we all love it when people come in and they give us their information and they talk to us about what we've been talking about. So please, if this sparks interest, please feel free to let us know your thoughts regarding our main event. So our main event question this week is, what are your thoughts about gaming and AI? Is it good, bad, or inevitable? Share your thoughts and we'll talk about them on the next episode. So I'm going to go ahead and give my thoughts on this because I do think that this is a very touchy subject, and I think that people really get into their feelings about this, which is fine. You know, while art is a sellable thing, it also creates a lot of feelings that come into it, and so feelings are valid, but what are you doing with those feelings, I guess is the main thing that I want to bring up, because in my opinion, AI generated art is inevitable. I think that it will be something that will not be going away as people try to streamline their lives, and in order to get the most for their buck, especially, they will cut corners. And let's be real, AI generated art cuts corners, and it takes out a middleman, from creating art, and that in itself is bad. When you are using it to replace people to save money, I think you're not getting the best of your money. You're getting it's like I think it's like going. I don't want to make it so crude to say like it's like McDonald's and a 5-star restaurant because you're going for a chef, but sometimes that's what it is. You pay a little bit more money for a steak versus at like Milton's or something, than you would for like a steak at a more cut rate thing. And I think that AI art is kind of cut rate. So instead of completely, working against it and rubbing our, banking our heads up against the proverbial wall about what's going to happen. We should be, enacting laws and legislatures to protect people's I guess their intellectual properties, because it's one thing for me and Kevin to, look at the great masters, like, whether it's comic book art, classical art, or whatever, and then get inspiration from that, and then use that in our own art, and then transform it. AI really doesn't have that ability. All they're doing is taking the raw images and changing that and making something that's derivative and almost an exact copy at some point. So the reason why this is coming up is because we're going to be talking about this later. Is Pal World is being charged with plagiarism due to AI stuff, whether it's AI sounds, because AI is, sound effects created by AI, dialogue created by AI. Like, it's not just art. Like, AI is going to be prevalent in multiple different applications. So this is not the beginning, and it sure as hell is not going to be the end. But again, it really comes down to how is this being utilized? Who is utilizing it, and and how do we protect the people that are being hurt by it? And you're basically seeing one of the worst, not only worst cases, but you're seeing a case of it now with Pal World, given what it looks like. It's obvious. You can look at it and obviously see that looks like a Pikachu, or that looks like a Raichu or Raichu or whatever. You can look at it and see that it is definitely, it's not a copy and paste. But then this whole argument of is it homage? Is it like what is it? Like, what are they doing? And they can say what they want about it, but at the end of the day, it looks too much like Pikachu, or it looks too much like this other creation. Who's going to get paid for that? Who's going to get hurt from that? And is it okay? Should it be okay? Should it not be okay? These are all things that people are going to have to struggle with as we get a much firmer grip on AI and how it's going to be implemented. So I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't do copyright infringement. I don't do intellectual copyright infringement. I don't know anything about that stuff. What I do know is that people like it. People will use it because people are strapped for time. People have money, and people want to have their ideas done, and they're going to go through anything that they can, or the least. They're going to take the least amount of resistance and cost in order to get what they want. And that's what you're going to see. So that's just a long way of saying I want to open it up to the two of you. We'll start with Kevin and say, what are your thoughts about gaming and AI? Is it good? Is it bad? Are you indifferent? What are your overall thoughts?
Okay, so here's the thing that I don't understand. You've got Nintendo, who will send their attorneys after what can arguably be called gaming preservation sites to shut down their ROM websites for games that have long been out of print. You can't buy them unless you're willing to mortgage your house. Those attorneys are ready to go. But when you have an example that is literally, they just took the Pokédex, ran it through AI generator, and probably had maybe a team of 5 to 10 graphics artists, maybe change a hue, change a color, add horns where there were no horns, or put horns where there were no horns on these AI generated Pokemon, And Nintendo so far has been silent. It's like your legal team should be on deck forming Voltron right now, getting the legal blazing sword out to cut the legs out these folks. And I'm not hearing it. That puzzles me. That puzzles the hell out of me. Now maybe they're laying back in the cut, observing how things go on, and then they're getting ready to drop Godzilla in the midst of it and atomic breath everything. But as of right now, as far as I know, they have been completely silent. Now, as far as AI in gaming, my own personal opinion is that Pal World is plagiarism. They should have called it Plagiarism World. That's what they're doing. And as someone who knows next to nothing about Pokemon, I know a Pikachu when I see it. I know a Charizard when I see it. I've seen those two Pokemon particularly during the course of the marketing videos that this game has shown over time. I've seen both those characters in this game. And this is coming from somebody who knows nothing at all about Pokemon. If you're going to use AI to maybe create voice or conversation routines, I can see that. If you're going to use AI to maybe randomly generate, shop keeps, random people walking down the street, if you're trying to recreate a market and you want everybody to look a little bit different and not have everybody look like, multiple twins, in a scene where there's a lot of people present, I think AI is great. Like I use AI in my little side business. Like for an example, I'm getting ready to post some what you would call child's party favors for kids' parties. Now, I don't have, I'm trying to, when I do the picture, I'm going to learn how, I'm going to start messing with, I think they call it Dolly. And I'm going to say, I've got a picture of the product and I need you to make this look like it's at a child's party. So, streamers, balloons, all that stuff. And that all is going to be AI generated. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I've got I've got the actual product here, and I'm going to be using AI to create a scene where this product is going to be used. But I'm not asking AI to put the whole thing together. I'm not taking something, okay, I'm going to create a new comic book, but I want to base my character off Batman. So I'm going to take all these images of Batman and run it through an AI generator and give me the best of this DC artist Batman and that DC artist Batman. And then I'm going to maybe change a glove, change a boot shape, change a costume shade of color. And then I'm gonna call him the Flying Rodent Man, and here's my comic book. Pay me some money. That's not right. That's not right. And I think there's differences in homage. There's differences in
intent,
and then there's straight up plagiarism. And I'm sorry, that's what Pal World is. And I'm just waiting for Nintendo just to speak up on this.
I don't know if Nintendo is, because maybe the companies maybe they just don't want to fight the company that's doing it too, and maybe they don't have a leg to stand on because the people will say, well, it's not the same. This is different. This might look like it, but it's not. It's close, but it's not. They might have the whole thing about like, is all what is it? Is all, lemon lime soda Mountain Dew? No, so people seriously, like lawyers get paid to do that stuff, and that's why I'm thinking that it's not going to go anywhere, and because if it was, see, because straight up, if I was Nintendo right now, and these folks done sold like $2 million and had all this other people in like 48 hours. Oh yes, get Johnny Cochran, get all these people up on the phone because they's cut into my money. So I think if Nintendo was gonna do something, they would be doing it like now. Like they got to do something, because if they're gonna like really be like pressed about this, they got to get on the roll. They got to get on the ball, because the longer they let it go, the harder it's going to be to stop them. Especially given how much people have already bought into it. So,
and that's the part I don't even understand. It's like, man, y'all went after so many of these websites that were actually trying to preserve your classic games that weren't on, the Nintendo shop, or maybe were taken down, and and yeah, you could say, well, they didn't get permission, and yeah, I get all that, I understand all that, but they were doing it because they had a love for the game. They wanted to keep it alive for future generations of gamers to enjoy, and Nintendo put the kibosh on that. And here you have something that, in my mind, is just so cut and dry.
Very.
It's like, man, get the legal team out there, give me that legal blazing sword, and cut these fools in half.
Yeah,
because they have just stolen your shit in front of you.
Yeah, literally in front of you. Like, I swear to God, I'm looking at things and I'm like, that is straight up Meowth from another game, and I'm from like Pokemon, or that's straight up, a Charizard. I'm just surprised that they don't have like Digimons up in here and stuff. Like, if they steal it, the thing is, if they gonna steal your shit, they gonna steal other people's shit too. So it's like, come on.
That's future DLC for future season.
Ooh, so see, I mean, you're right, and that's what's sad about it. You are right, 100% correct. But yeah. So Joe, what are your thoughts, my friend?
I'm kind of, there's a fine line in this whole equation, and right now Pal World is kind of riding that line and is over the line. There was another little controversy too, because I know Square Enix said that they're going to use AI in their titles moving forward, and looking at the ways that they could use AI efficiently in game development, which everyone kind of threw an eyebrow out.
Yeah, because they used the word efficiently. So what does efficiently mean?
Yeah, like I know for one game I'm going to talk about in the news, Foam Stars, which is coming out next month. They used AI, but they only used AI in the game to develop like album covers for the songs in the game. And so based on that fact, they fed, the AI the parameters of what they wanted to create, and they created album covers. So to me, it's like, I wish in a way that they would have took the time to create album covers for each of the song titles in the game personally, versus having AI do it. But as long as someone's looking over what the AI is doing and curating that, and be able to take a look as far as what's being created by AI, and if it passes the sniff test, maybe they go in and look at what the AI generated for those album covers, and maybe go in and do a pass real quick, maybe change up a few things, here, there, whatever, as far as the art is concerned. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with the AI being used for something that isn't part of game development, but
or something to enhance, maybe.
Correct, or like as another tool for a game creator to be able to use to say, okay, I don't want to sit here and create album covers for each of the songs in the game. And normally you don't really have that kind of like artwork, unless someone's really dedicated to be able to do that, and they use AI to do that instead. So, which in the parameters of game development, I have no problem with them using AI to generate, as long as they're curating the AI art and be able to look at the AI art and knowing what they're doing. It's not affecting any sort of gameplay or character generation as far as the characters in the game or whatnot. It just has to do with album covers, so.
Yeah.
So, and, there's always going to be a fine line between what someone would consider as being derivative versus an outright copy. You know, just the old Street Fighter fighter's history equation from back in the 90s.
Because it's been there.
You know, people said, okay, Street Fighter created a new genre, you know, and then you know, Fighter's history came in, and Capcom got like, hey, what are you doing with this character? You know, what are you doing with these characters? You had the Guile ripoff, you had the Ken Ryu ripoff with like Ray and whatnot, you know. And so
but the thing about that is people are saying, well, there was actually Bob in the art department made that. You know, instead of and it took time. Now it's like everyone and their mama is doing it, and I think people are scared of the proliferation of how fast it's happening.
And it's going to be up to the curators of said storefronts, Steam, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox, to kind of make sure to weed this stuff out. Problem is just that a lot of these storefronts are already overwhelmed with, like, you know, shovelware.
Yep.
You know, you're like, you know, calculators on the Nintendo eShop. You're like 30 different bundles with all these crappy eShop games where they're all entitled with the letter A because they want to keep it on top of the eShop for visibility. And so it's just.
Yeah. So there's some scandalous ass people out there.
Yeah. You know? And I'm pretty sure, you know, you're going to see, like, I don't know if you guys caught it, but there was like this like kind of game on the Nintendo eShop that literally looked like a carbon copy, at least the artwork, at least as far as the cover art of the game of The Last of Us. And it was like some really just janky, like if a fourth grader made the damn game on the eShop. They eventually pulled it after Digital Foundry and a few other people took a look at it. But, you know, it's just to me, Power World's kind of crazy because you got something in that wheelhouse and it's, you know, sold millions of copies now, and it's like, you know, and it's crazy fun. It's crazy fun, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, we're kind of in a new territory with that game as far as it blowing up the way it did. But even in the past, I mean, like looking at Genshin Impact, I first thing I looked at Genshin Impact, this is a Chinese Breath of the Wild knockoff, and it's like, okay, look how crazy Genshin is, and Genshin has a fervent fan base and
huge following.
Yeah, huge following. You know, millions of people have played the game now. So I kind of consider Power World in the same kind of wheelhouse as Genshin, and I just see it that, you know, I'm not sure if Nintendo would think about suing over Genshin Impact, you know, with Mihoho, and be able to say, okay, this is too derivative of Breath of the Wild, because one, that's a Chinese company, and you're going to sue a Chinese company. What are they going to do? You're going to take them to Chinese court? Hell to the hell no.
That's what I mean. It's like they got a lot of money.
Yeah,
they got a lot of money.
Yeah,
so it's a crazy thing, you know, and that's specifically because it's we wanted to bring it up because I know this is not going to be the last conversation about it, and we would love to hear your thoughts about it, and because this is something that is just going to proliferate more and more and more, because what we're talking about now is just art assets, but we haven't even talked about, you know, actual AI developing games, you know, and that stuff that's happening. So it's a much larger conversation that needs to be had by people who are in charge and people who play these games, and I think it's good for us as consumers to know what we're buying and what we're supplying, and, you know, what's happening, you know. And I cannot wait to hear your all thoughts about it, because I know some of you were very, very vocal and very outspoken, and so I cannot wait to continue this conversation. But before we move on to our next segment, I wanted to talk to you guys and say, is there anything else that you would like to say about this? Because I do know that once we start talking about it again, it's gonna, and the community chimes in, we're gonna have a lot more thoughts and information that we didn't even think about, you know, that's going to be brought up. So I just wanted to, before we moved on, I wanted to ask if there was anything else that you all wanted to say.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think I'll just say this. I think part of the reason why AI is also becoming an issue in gaming is because the tools of development have become so ridiculously expensive.
Yep.
I mean, it shouldn't cost $300 million to develop a AAA game.
Yeah.
Now they're saying that Grand Theft Auto 6 may be knocking on $1 billion in development costs.
That's bananas to me.
This is and people expect games to stay at $70. The tools of development, I thought the tools were supposed to streamline things and make it so instead of needing a team of 1,000, maybe you only need 400. Maybe you only need 500. Maybe you only, for a AA game, maybe you only need 30. I thought that was the purpose of tools. But it seems like with every new Unreal Engine that's developed, or every new Frostbite, or whatever engine comes out, the costs just skyrocket. And I think that's where the focus maybe needs to be. Y'all need to figure out a way to cut the costs of these development tools. Because this is getting ridiculous. I mean, it's one thing and I don't know, is it the tools? Is it paying, who's that dude that does the voice for everything?
Nathan North or whatever.
Yeah. Is it paying his cost to do voices for your games? Is it getting Hollywood actors to do voiceovers? I don't think so, because not every game that's AAA has a blockbuster actor or actress behind it. I think it's these development tools. Yeah. So if there's a way to utilize AI into streamlining some of that stuff so it can bring the costs down, so that these companies can be profitable, so that we get a high quality product, the same type of quality products that we're used to when we're talking AAA content, AA content, then that's great. But when we're using AI to cut corners, to plagiarize, and that's the thing that's the problem.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. So I think that was a really good conversation. Again, I cannot wait to hear what our community has to say. If you want to be a part of our community and you want to chime in on this conversation, Kevin will let you know how to do that at the end of the show, because we really would love to hear your thoughts. But you know what follows, Daz? It's the Jabroni Gaming News.
All right, thanks, Des.
You're welcome,
let's go
sir.
ahead and we'll first talk about the controversy with Pal World. So, like we were talking about in the main event question on there in the segment, as far as what's going on, Pal World is embroiled in AI and Pokemon plagiarism controversy. So there's been a lot of social media posts from users highlighting character design similarities between some of the Pals and the regular Pokemon. And also that the particular developer, Pocket Pair, their generative AI history on here. And so they've gone through the developer's prior history, and they even created an AI game. Actually, it was an AI 4-player game on Steam that they had available for Pocket Pair, and it had AI generated kind of art, and it was like a kind of a party game if needed on there. So there's a lot of, if you go in and take a look, similarities between the Pals and the actual Pokemon. And in fact, they found tweets from the CEO of Pocket Pair talking about saying that AI has evolved so much that you can no longer tell which one was created by a human from Game Freak and which one was actually created by AI. So
you know,
and they look very similar, so they've been exploring that space.
Isn't that kind of admitting you jocking the original content?
It's a slide.
These are like tweets from like back in 2021, you know. So
he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
The name of the game that they created on Steam is AI Art Imposter. So this is a real-time image generation game. So this is a Pocket Pair published game on Steam that they created.
Bunch of thieves. Bunch of thieves. Bunch of thieves.
I didn't realize it was that bad. Wow.
Yeah, it was that bad. Yeah, they have a published game called AI Art Imposter. So
Yikes.
Form blazing sword on these fools.
Yeesh.
According to a blog post from the CEO of the developers of Pal World on here from Pocket Pair, he stated that in a blog post that one employee created all 100 character concepts by a single graduate student. She was a new graduate and had applied to nearly 100 companies but failed them all. Now she's drawing most of the characters in Pal World. So I don't know how she's drawing all 100 pals, but yeah. They also talked about Pocket Pair's previous game, Craftopia, which was built mostly using off-the-shelf assets and how it started work on Pal World. The company had no animation staff, so truly a miracle that Pal World was born, that it was completed, and that it turned out to be such a fun game on here. So yeah, it seems like this game is kind of held together with twine, duct tape, some rubber bands, and whatnot.
And good old-fashioned theft.
It's running out of Unreal. So yeah, so it's just there's even, if you go back and look at Pocket Pair's historic relationship with generative AI tools, one of its artists noted on X that one of its previous titles, AI Art Imposter, was a game that literally uses an AI image generator as its core mechanic. So yeah.
Not looking good, Joe.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what the discussion is, but yeah, this is definitely a hot topic if need be.
Wow.
Granted, the game is fun, but I don't know if I would not pay $26.99 for the game. I could tell you that. So
not at all. That is the one time, again, like I said before, is the one time that I am happy that it is on Game Pass. Wow.
Well, unfortunately, because Xbox's certification program, Microsoft certification program, is a little bit more time-consuming than on Steam. Right now, there is a big difference between the Pal World version that we are playing on Xbox versus the version on Steam. So right now, as it stands, what's going on with the versions is that there is definitely something to where there's no dedicated servers on the Xbox. So right now, multiplayer is limited to 2 to 4 players, while Steam, you're able to get 32 players within the same world on there. So it's
there's only enough potato for you and me. So
yeah.
I'm just saying. That's nice and all, but no. I think my thing would explode.
Yeah, but there are other differences, and so like in the PC version, you're able to name your actual avatar, your character. Right now in the Xbox version, you cannot.
Oh.
In Pal World on the PC, you're able to name your individual pals. Right now, you cannot do that on the Xbox version.
No.
The Xbox version is a prior build on there, so it's like not even the most up-to-date build. There's actually other Xbox Game Pass titles on PC that also have this issue, that a lot of them have like basically like old builds or missing features from the versions that are on Steam and in other marketplaces. So
not surprised.
Yeah, so it's like there was one thread on Resetera talking about that Game Pass on PC is in a quote unquote rough spot and it's not improving on there. So so that's why I mentioned in our playlist, as far as I might wait to when that patch reaches certification first before checking this out, because I would like to name my character before actually creating and starting my own character and working on my own base if need be.
Oh yeah, like again, this is just open. I'm just playing this just to see what it's about and stuff like that. Like I totally have no qualms in not having or not dealing with it for or starting over again. I mean that's the thing.
I mean once I have access to PlayStation, a choice between playing Grand Blue Fantasy Relink and Pal World, it's like
100%. I'm gonna like that's the game I'm gonna be playing when I'm back from my imposed vacation. So yeah.
Yeah. Right now, Pocket Pair is saying that the studio is trying to get a patch through the Microsoft certification process, and some of these things will take extra time. They're desperately trying to speed this up, quote unquote, and that that both the Steam and Xbox versions will never be concurrent with each other because of the fact that it's a fact that it just takes longer to push things through Xbox certification versus certification process on Steam on here. So there's no feature parity, unfortunately, between either version on here. So some of the things that are missing is the exit game button is not on the Xbox version.
Yeah, you have to go back right up to the beginning. So
yeah. And they also stated that in the PC version, you're able to craft 3 arrows versus 1 sequence on there. The crafting is faster. You are able to use technology points to unlock statues of power. You're able to, obviously, there's some sound effects that are missing from the Xbox version.
Oh, yeah, and I guess, and sometimes the sound effect just continues on when you've left.
Oh yeah, no. Last night I was playing, and we're in a dungeon, and the boss music continued to play for 30 minutes until I had to log out because I couldn't endure the boss theme anymore. So
that was hilarious. I was like, it didn't happen to me. I
have a male character in this game. My avatar is male, but it seems like when they fall or climb a rock, they have a female voice for some.
Yeah, the voices are not really synced well with your character, so they don't. Yeah, it's a very like that's so weird about it. It's like this game, like Joe was right. Duct tape, and hopes and dreams and plagiarism. Like you said,
held together by twine.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wow.
I can't help but wonder if part of the reason that certification is taking so long is that Xbox legal team is maybe calling Nintendo and say, hey, when y'all drop the bomb, we ain't gonna get caught up in this, are we? I mean,
that would be hilarious.
We're just putting this stuff up on the store, we're just filling out a spot on Game Pass. We're not gonna get caught up in this bomb y'all
this
dropped.
Lawsuit, right?
Yeah, we good, right? We just spent $70 billion. We ain't trying to spend more right now. Yeah. We good? We good? Okay.
Well, the game is a sterling success because 4 million PAL Tamers have arisen. This game has sold 4 million copies on Steam at $26.99.
It's crazy. That is so crazy to me. So crazy to me.
So in about 3 days, it has sold 4 million copies. Right now, the game also achieved the highest concurrent player count of any paid game in history on Steam on here. So it surpassed Cyberpunk's number, which was 1,054,000 players on there. So they had 1,291,000 players on Steam playing the game at the same time on here. So it's the fifth highest concurrent player count of all time on Steam, right behind PUBG, Counter-Strike, Lost Ark, and Dota 2, and all of those are free-to-play titles. So
I'm telling you.
Man, I hope Nintendo takes their dreams. I hope they can't even dream about something without having to pay Nintendo some money. This is just...
It's crazy.
This is just, This is like somebody like literally walking into your house, taking your TV, flipping you the bird on the way out, and saying there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
My TV now.
Yeah, it's mine.
Well, there is other Xbox news to talk about, so let's go and talk about there was an Xbox Developer Direct, and so we're not going to talk about everything about that was shown. There was like a kind of Civilization type game, which we will all not talk about because we all will not be playing that, but there are some games we might be checking out from that. So first one is Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. They did have a nice trailer for that. They stated that the game, like we talked about earlier, is going to be digital only. It's going to cost $50 just in case if you happen to want to buy it outside of Game Pass on here. It is going to be a quote-unquote a game crafted from the heart. It's similar in length to the first Hellblade. So the first Hellblade was around 7 hours, I believe, with a focused narrative, and it's being sold digital only, like we stated, at $49.99 on here. So, and I don't know what you guys feel about what you saw, but I didn't happen to watch this trailer yet. So, Kevin, do you have any feelings about Hellblade 2?
I now believe it's an actual game because they actually did show some combat.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm happy that it's an actual game. Extremely disappointed that this is digital only. I mean, I could have seen this could have been something really neat. Like maybe you could come up with like a complete edition where I get the first game, the second game, some steel books, some runes or something thrown into this for a nice little price, and have this be presented as a premium physical, product. The fact that this is digital only just is sad.
It's terrible.
It's sad to me.
The writing was on the wall. I would have bought Hi-Fi Rush if they offered a physical last year on that. And it's kind of funny, the rumors now it's coming out for Switch and PlayStation, and they'll probably release physicals on those platforms. So
yeah,
it's like kind of crazy to think that, especially for Switch, if they're going to release Hi-Fi Rush, it's going to have to be physical on the Switch. And so it'll give me an opportunity to be able to buy a physical version if I wanted to. But there's a number of Xbox fans very concerned about the lack of physical media, and they're being very vocal about it. But I think it's going on deaf ears, unfortunately. John Linneman from Digital Foundry has a nice X thread talking. He's taking a picture of his storefront. He lives in Germany as far as the Xbox section, and he asked for other people on X to be able to contribute pictures of their said Xbox retail presence and whatnot. And especially in the U.S., it just a lot of the Xbox sections have gone very small or non-existent, with a lot of them just filled with peripherals versus actual physical discs if need be. So, So I kind of remember when box PC games went away, and this is kind of the same thing. Alan Wake 2 is digital only.
I didn't know that. I thought Alan Wake 2 had a physical.
No physical for Alan Wake 2 at all. Baldur's Gate right now doesn't have a physical. The only physical available is in Japan, and then Larian did announce they're going to release a physical through their store, which I had happened to pre-order. So, so there's kind of a precedent right now, especially on the Xbox side. Limited Run recently announced a couple of games like Rocket Knight Adventures Collection and a Felix the Cat Collection, and a lot of people were asking for Xbox version. And right now, the Xbox version, for them to be able to print an Xbox version of the game, they have to print at least 10,000 copies. They don't have the ability to be able to make an order for less than 10,000. So it's kind of nuts. So. All right, other than the games that were shown, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So this is Machine Games through Bethesda, the Wolfenstein developers. So I happened to watch the trailer for this. I think it looks pretty damn cool. I know some people on Twitter were kind of complaining, saying that all they need to do is take Uncharted 4 and copy and paste Indiana Jones into that. But
they didn't want to do that.
I know they didn't want to do that. They didn't let them develop their own game, so... Some people were complaining about it being in first person, but Machine Games, that's their forte. That's their that's their pleasure. That's how they make games. And so I like, from what I saw of Indiana Jones and Great Circle. I'm not a big Indiana Jones fan, but it might be something I'll play just to say I experienced it. Obviously, Harrison Ford is not voicing the Indy. It's going to be voiced by Troy Baker, a noted video game voice actor. So you're probably very familiar with Troy Baker. But he'll be supplying the voice for Indiana Jones. So any opinions of this Indiana Jones game, guys?
I want to see a little bit more about it. I mean, it looks cool, to say the least. I do wish that it was third person, but again, that's just a preference for me. So, I mean, because it's not going to spoil my enjoyment. I do want to see just a little bit more about it, but I most likely will probably pick it up on a sale. Again, I'm an Indiana Jones person. I like Indiana Jones, but
you can play it on your potatoes, sir. So
I hate you so much.
It is on Game Pass. It's on.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So I might
and Game Pass.
So I might get it to play it. We'll see how the potato runs it.
Got it.
Yeah, It looks good. I am not a fan of this first person combat thing. Because so few games can do melee combat first person well.
Exactly.
And from what I saw, I'm not necessarily convinced that this group has done it well. I'm just not. That whip, animations of that whip look really janky. Hitboxes look kind of off. I'm very sus on this, and plus this whole switching into third person as you're climbing, and then if you use the whip going back to first person, and then you have to jump a crevasse or something, switching you back to third. That's really that's jumping in and out of perspectives is not good. I was hoping, this is what I was hoping for, and I can't remember the name of the game, but there was an Indiana Jones games on the original Xbox. I can't remember the name of it. I had it. I don't have it anymore. But that was a third person action beat 'em up RPG. Well, it didn't really have RPG elements. You saw puzzles, environmental puzzles, did stuff like that. That game was a blast and a half to play. That was an excellent game, and I was hoping to see that style be revisited. And I guess they don't. Well, there's Uncharted, and we don't want to be accused of. Well, that game was out before Uncharted, so in a way, you're.
So was Lara Croft.
Yeah, so was Lara Croft. So I mean, it's like, in a way, I don't know. I would have preferred this game definitely be in third person. Maybe I'll purchase a month of Game Pass when this game drops. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no release date right now, so.
Yeah, it depends on when it comes out and what I'm playing in that time. But
yeah, the game you're thinking about is Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. So
yeah, that game was very good, very good. I played through that like 2 or 3 times.
Now, they also showed in the Xbox Developer Direct Avowed from developer Obsidian. So this is basically kind of a RPG. It's based kind of similar to Skyrim, but obviously Obsidian has their own particular formula and flavor on here. It's actually set in the same universe as Pillars of Eternity, which is a game series that Desmond has played previously. Mm-hmm. So on here, look very. I love the key art. The key art is badass. So if you happen to not check out the key art for this game, go ahead and do so, because the graphic art design on it is top class on here. It would be a crime if they don't release a physical of that art, at least. I don't know if it looked good in that green case, but we'll have to see on there. But they did show off the combat. Players can mix their weapons for a wider range of attacks. You could freeze your enemies and then use a sword to shatter them. You could even use like guns or magic wands. You could even do a dual wand setup on there. So, what did you think of what you saw, Des?
I think it looked great, but again, I have to agree with Kev. The first person sword dueling and combat stuff, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I am gonna definitely play it, potato or not. I'm gonna be playing it because this is honestly one of the games that one of the reasons why I bought my Xbox is because I want to play this game. So it is my hope of hopes that it will be fire on the S and look good, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. It is a day one play for me. So yeah, I'm here for it. I thought it looked great. The dual wands looked so hilarious and it looked fun. I think I already know the story is going to be great because they are masters of their craft when it comes to storytelling. So it just can't get here soon enough. So
yeah, they're definitely making up for Grounded. It looks like,
I think honestly believe, and I could be wrong, but I honestly believe that Grounded was one of those things where they were like, hey, we got to get something out. Let's do this,
Yeah.
But this is their passion project, and you can honestly see, at least, I mean, in my opinion, I could see it, when I felt like I could see it when they were talking about the game and everything. So I will forever stand, that company. So I just hope it's good. I just really hope it's good.
Yeah. Game that made a surprise appearance at the Xbox Developer Direct was Square Enix and their Visions of Mana. So yeah, there's about 13 minutes of a trailer, including some reach-ins from the series producer and the series creator on there. And I am all there. It looked great to me. This is the first Mana game that actually is being released on Xbox. It's kind of a telltale thing. I don't know why they do this with PlayStation or another platform holder like Nintendo if need be. But it's going to be out for PlayStation 5, 4, Xbox Series X and S and PC, probably also on Switch 2 once that finally gets announced as well. And it'll be on PC via Steam and also Microsoft Store. I like what I saw from this game. It kind of gave me some Dragon Quest XI vibes a little bit, but with an action RPG element, and it was very Mana from what I saw. So count me there day one. I'll probably be buying it and playing it on PlayStation because that's where I have my other Mana games at, if need be. But I'm seriously thinking with the focus of it being on the Developer Direct that it probably will. They did not say it's coming to Xbox Game Pass, but
I would be surprised.
I'd be surprised
if it did. Honestly, I think they were just. I think he, Phil. St. Phil threw out some money and was like, hey, can we announce this? And they're like, sure, try to get some eyes on it. But no, I don't think it's I honestly do not think that it's going to be on Game Pass. I would be shocked if it was. So yes, I'll be playing it on my PlayStation as well.
Yeah. I know, Kevin, you looked at this and you were kind of interested in it, right?
Yeah, this is probably my game of the show. Wow. I want to say I heard a YouTuber talking about this, saying that there was some type of I don't know if it was an announcement that it wasn't coming to Game Pass or something. But if it's not coming to Game Pass,
no, it's not. It
is not. Okay,
no.
I'm seeing this as a test. Y'all say you want Square Enix games. Y'all say you want Final Fantasy. Prove it. Buy it. Put your money where your mouth is. Start spending money on this game. Uncle Phil obviously didn't pay them what they thought this game was worth. That's why it's not on Game Pass. So, Xbox gamers, put your money where your mouth is. Buy the game.
Pretty much. I agree.
You want Final Fantasy Remake? You want Final Fantasy Rebirth? Prove it.
Yeah.
All right, and a couple last bits of news from the PlayStation side. Square Enix's Foam Stars, as I referenced earlier in the show, is coming to PlayStation platforms. It'll be part of PlayStation Plus in February. It's one of the essential games of the month, so probably going to be a miss for both of you guys. I might check it out just to say I checked it out on there.
We played it.
Yeah, we played at PAX, so I enjoyed when I played at PAX. I'm just kind of curious more to get into the actual gameplay per se, so.
Like the meat of it?
Yeah, the meat of it. I don't know if there's any meat. It's all bubbles. So.
That's funny. Wow.
And also, Dragon's Dogma 2 will be welcoming to newcomers because the director stated players won't need to know what happened because your character will have amnesia at the beginning of the game, and all the past events will be explained to them at the beginning of the game. So I love the fact that, he just straight up said, this is according to Hideki Itsuno. He said the game starts out with the main character has lost their memory. So the game will have characters around you explaining things to get you up to speed. So this is first time playing Dragon's Dogma 2. You can safely dive in on there, so they're making it friendly for everyone. So
That's funny.
For all us poor sap ass people that played little to none of that game.
To be fair, I played through the first game twice, and I don't remember anything about the story.
No one does. It's fine. I don't think anyone does. God's honest.
I know a dragon took your heart and ate it. And some kind of way create some psychic. That's all I know. That's all I know.
So be rest assured if you have not played Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, that you're able to start the game fresh. And so I'm wiping my brow now because I think I had to have to complete the first game to understand what's happening in 2. But this is the one.
Plus, there's tons of lore. Just look at it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be checking it out. I know there's that series on Netflix, too. I haven't really had a chance to even check that out, too.
Oh, wow. So. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was an animated series on Netflix, and I'm pretty sure it's still up, but who knows? I
completely forgot about that. Thank you, Joe.
That is the Jabroni Gaming News for this episode. Thank you.
Woohoo!
All right, so that's going to bring us to game night. Game night takes place 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, every Thursday evening. That's the time we set aside to interact with our growing gaming community that we have over on Discord. So if you like what we're doing here, you're going to love what's going on there. It's a great discussion, daily news posts, people talking about their gaming accomplishments, gaming acquisitions, something that maybe they saw in the industry that they like or dislike, all points of view expressed without the personal insult. So if you're tired of the nonsense, then I'd highly encourage you to join us over on our Discord server. So how do you join us? Well, you head on over to Twitter, the app formerly known, or X, the app formerly known as Twitter.
Yep.
And go to @GamingVessels, GamingVessels. Click the link and you're in. So you don't have to worry about any Patreon tier list to pay for or any waiting period until you can join. You just click the link and you're involved so you can get into the conversations going on there. So that's going to bring episode 235 to a close. I want to thank you for rocking out with us. So for Dez, a.k.a. the Bay Area Terror, a.k.a. the High Res Lover.
That's me.
A.k.a. the Cat Daddy, a.k.a. That Gamer Step Daddy. And for Trader Joe, a.k.a. Jabroni Chief.
Yeah.
Which you might also know him as the Food Max of Gaming who can maximize your gaming dollar. I am Shonuff71, a.k.a. Digadulamite.
That purple bling bling, y'all. Can't forget it.
And we'll be back next time, episode 236 for your ears. Peace.